Get down, Harry shouted as more curses flew through the night. He and Ron had both grabbed Hermione and pulled her to the floor, but Percy lay across Fred's body, shielding it from further harm, when Harry shouted, "Percy, come on, we've got to move!" Oh.
Scamp.
That old Harry Potter.
Oh, hello there.
Oh, hello.
Welcome to Faculty Peace Theatre. I am Professor Andy Peterson, and this is Professor Jamie McGann, with me as always as part of a court-ordered settlement.
Cheers.
Today, we bring to you a retrospective, the life of Eunice P. Eifert.
Dr. Eunice W.K. Eifert, Dr. Eunice R.A.D. Eifert, Dr. Eunice Coolio Eifert, Eunice Snoop Dogg Eifert, no, Dr. Eunice Terwilliger Eifert.
Professor McGann, in the scrapbook of our minds, what page would you pull out to best represent your fondest memory of Eunice Eifert?
Well, I would have to pull out the copyright page, but let's see what our friends have to say.
In my undergraduate education, I signed up and took the class Communication and Media, and Eunice was team teaching that with Dr. Merle Radke. And when I signed up for the course, partly I signed up because it fit general studies for me and it worked in my schedule. But I was very scared to take the course. And when I took the course, though, ultimately it ended up being one of my favorite courses here at Concordia. I looked forward to the class. We would watch different films, have discussions on them, write papers on them. But one of the things and why I was scared to take the course was because I knew that Eunice had high expectations with regards to the writing. And when my papers would come back, I had red ink all over them, and that was from Eunice. But it did make me a better writer and thinker.
Eunice sifted through resumes at a really kind of low time in the art department, and I remember that 9 years ago, one professor died suddenly and one person was retired. So she was able to kind of sift through these resumes and bring together two people, Deb Herman and myself, who actually complemented each other and didn't overlap each other. And I want to thank her for that.
One of my earliest memories from ACT was going to a cast list, and I was only in one of Doc's shows, Once Upon a Mattress. And there was my name with an erroneous vowel, Paige Crage. Didn't really belong there. Another time, she often would call me Craig Page.
She was directing, we decided to do The Glass Menagerie, and I was playing Tom Wingfield. And she decided that I talked entirely too much with my hands, which is true. And she made me do the entire opening speech that Tom Wingfield does by keeping my hands on a railing and just speaking, which I will never forgive her for.
My senior year, I was in the Laramie Project, and Doc was directing, and it was an awesome opportunity. We had a great time. There was a cast of, I want to say, 8 of us, and so it was just a small, intimate cast, and so rehearsals were really intimate as well, and we had a great time. But one night in particular was one of the best nights, one of the best rehearsal moments, I think, ever. So there's this moment when all 8 of us are on stage, and we are in a bar. We're supposed to be in a bar, and we are rehearsing, and everyone's just having a good time and just like testing out characters. We're not really sure what we're going to do for the final performance. And so there's this one line that our dear friend Kevin Berg had, and he delivers his line in such a way where he is extremely intoxicated. We all as a cast seem to pull it together quite well. Doc stops the rehearsal and just goes, "Are you sloshed?" And we lost it. It was one of my favorite Doc memories ever.
Now, you may be asking yourself, why is Professor Peterson here wearing Eunice Q. Eifert's purple robe? Why is that, Professor Peterson?
Well, I think there can only be one answer.
And what is that?
And that answer is comfort.
Comfort, indeed.
The word legacy has many meanings. To some, it means what one leaves behind. To others, it means... The word legacy has one definition, and Eunice Eifert has left something behind.
Eunice has made many contributions and expanded the theater program at Concordia. even to the point of changing the spelling of what we normally thought was theater to the more continental or British way of spelling. I think Eunice, is part of her legacy has been that she has not shied away from programming some challenging plays, some plays that would expand students in terms of their acting and staging abilities and what they were learning there, and even some plays that would challenge the Concordia community.
Her legacy will be many things: developing a theater program that is excellent without ever having a theater.
Eunice will leave a legacy of theater people who aren't afraid to take chances. She was always willing to experiment, and I think we took a lot of that from her, and that's just become a part of who we are now. I know that I can always make mistakes because she would be okay with it, and that just means a lot as I grow as a theatrical practitioner.
I think Eunice's legacy at Concordia will be one of love and openness to everybody.
I think Eunice's legacy to me will be that she brought the theater program into the 21st century. She made the best of the facilities that she had to work with, tweaked a bit here and there, added, made improvements where she could.
I think that she's going to leave a legacy of just taking a step outside the box. Obviously, she's in theater, so it's all about, getting outside of the box and the normal confines of what we think the social structure should be. But, she's directed shows, obviously, with Hellfire, where just kind of taking that leap and just kind of going, I don't know how people are going to react to this, but we're going to do it because there's a good message behind it and people need to hear that.
One of the legacies that she leaves behind is a global perspective on the institution, that she has taught a lot of us to look beyond ourselves and beyond what we do in the here and now to how it impacts the students, how it impacts the institution as a whole. I think she has built this program from very little, very small, to something that has a lot of student involvement, a lot of strength, a lot of creativity, a lot of energy. And I think the legacy she leaves behind is people with energy and drive and creativity who want to continue what she has already started.
I'm sure other people have indicated it, but it has to be the theater and drama department. It's phenomenal, communication art also, but the theater over all these years in her lifetime here at the university has, with all the alumni and all the students, has really expanded across this whole country. And so she's to be commended, and I have to indicate that it also was without a performing arts facility.
Eunice's legacy is manifold, but I think one of the most important aspects will be that she would be remembered as a theater professor and director who not only produced performances to entertain the Concordia community, but to challenge the community as well. Many of her performances are truly educational events, and I thank you for the courage that you have shown throughout your years as the director of Concordia Theater and as a professor in the classroom.
Now, Professor Peterson, if there was one word you could use to describe Eunice QT Pi Eifert, what would it be?
One word. One word to perfectly sum up Eunice Eifert. That, I'm afraid, would have to be...
dedicated.
Unforgettable.
Faithful.
Indefatigable.
Classic.
Mentor.
Memorable.
Passion.
Determined.
Innovative.
My friend. She's been my friend for a very long time.
One word doesn't work. She's a mentor, she's a guide, she's caring, she's stubborn, she's a visionary, she's all of these things that make her up. She's Doc.
Eunice, mosaic, that's my word for you. You have pieced together a beautiful life mosaic over the past 40 plus years as you've served Concordia. be it through your committee work, your service to our department, the Art, Communication, and Theater Department, and your students. We appreciate very much the service you have given us all, and we wish you a wonderful retirement. Thank you for your service.
It has been wonderful working with you these 6 years that I've been here, and you have been a wonderful colleague and someone who I admire greatly.
Oh, hello, and welcome back. Thank you for going on this journey with us today, examining the life and the memories and the legacy of Eunice Eifert. 42 years of dedicated service, teaching, directing, and fellowship. Before I say goodnight, I'd like to turn to my colleague, Professor Jamie McGann, for any final words and thoughts on Eunice Eifert, the always coherent Professor McGann. The always coherent Professor McGann.
Eunice Eifert. Love her. She's wonderful. I miss you.
And that'll do it for us. Good night. God bless. Have your pets and undergraduates spayed and neutered.